Hello. I believe you can hear me clearly. Today, delayed for a live stream in YouTube. There has been some problem, but here we are together, sharing what we know to our maximum awareness, connecting together. So if you have any question while you are live meeting or on YouTube, please just send message and ask. I have a couple of questions with me, but the message text from past to the present message when people are live with you in the studio. There I have a few of my dear students or fellow yoga practitioners. I don't really like to claim my student. They are just a student. Today mine, tomorrow they change the mind to be somebody else. So it's better not to claim. They are just a student of life. So if you have any question from while you are practicing your Himalayan Hatha yoga teacher training, please do unmute your mouth, not the mic, and ask. I know you're very eager. It's like Poncho sees the cheese. Or some of my dear friends see the goat cheese.
I've got a very good question for you.
Every person is great.
No.
And up to me to decide it is really great or just a question.
Okay.
Okay. So please let me see who I have in the system here. Ask me, see if the question is interesting for today. If not,
You want to ask you or you can?
just one moment. 30 seconds. Okay, here we go. Now, please, you can ask your question. That question I'm asking, which I will see after your question.
Okay, so this is about relationships.
Mhm.
When you enter into a relationship with someone,
Mhm.
a romantic relationship.
Every relationship is romantic point one. If without romantic, there is no relationship.
Okay, there's of course love involved.
Mhm.
The one where it's like a union between two people where they have children, that kind of relationship.
Okay.
Okay. So now that we've defined it.
The custom relationship.
A what?
A custom relationship. A contract.
Yes, the contract. Right. In today's modern age,
Mhm.
ideally, is the person meant to be with one partner? Ideally, by cosmic law, I mean, not by the laws of man.
Mhm.
Or can they, if the relationship does not work, leave this person, move on to another? Should they not? Are they meant to be with one partner? That's many questions in one, so sorry.
So, as I understand your question is there's two types of laws. One is a religious law that is either based on cultural values and social values, or the values of calculated from the control region, the what one should do, what one should not do, to understand. And the one law is a cosmic law that you're asking, is it that to the nature of creation, is the one person supposed to be dedicated to a one person, or if something doesn't work out, leave that person to be with somebody else? I think the creation does not really bother the who you are having relationship with, how many relationships you have had, and how many partners you have changed, and how many times you got married and divorced. Reason is cosmic law, cosmic creation only concerned about you. And then through each relationship, it can affect you, number of relationships you have. Each relationship you get more and more entangled, creating more karmic limitations, beliefs, sadden, hurting each other. If the relationship is with full awareness, acceptance, maintaining your awareness of compassion, kindness, not dominating each other, relationship with acceptance and freedom of an individual. Do you follow me? But if you have had a 20 relationship, means you got 20 layers of emotions over your mind. Each relationship leaves something, little bit residue in your awareness or in your thinking. If the moment you change the relationship, you don't hold on to it, not get affected emotionally, mentally, or physically, you are totally contained while you're in the relationship, or you're out of the relationship or end with the relationship, not hanging into a past, not clinging on to it, thinking about which could have been better if I had done that. If you have changed, if you have grown, if you have transformed, you have altered your perception as your nature perceive, nature grow, not a problem. But every relationship makes you a bit ugly in natural way, in emotional way, or bitter, aggressive, unkind to yourself and others, bit more smarter that you might think, because you're living a bit more experience. I got experience from my last relationship, and this relationship I'm going to be a bit more extra smart. And then next one I will be better. So you're constantly upgrading the version of the mind. Many appearance, many personalities develops inside. So you can just change as you need it. That becomes dangerous. You should not be changed. Number of relationships you have had, it should not change your nature. It should not change your law of your inner dharma. If each relationship changing your dharma, means little bit you are contaminated. Means having many relationships and with many people, it will lead to a certain level of psychosomatic, you can call it, or mental mind restlessness, agitation, bit of anxiety, insecurity. Because every relationship you will enter in, you will be a little bit insecure. If you are not having any of those problems, perfectly fine. In answer to your question about cosmic relationship, law of cosmic relationship, I don't really think personally, in my observation, if you believe in God, God is really concerned that how many times you have broken up, how many times you have left your partners, or having a many partners is not really concern of God. It's concern of God, if you believe in, might be just how aware you are, how transparent you are, how kind you are, how compassionate you are. But you can be in a la la land also, that I'm very kind, I'm very compassionate, but deep down inside filled with hatred and bitterness. Decorated outside with the putting the halo with leaves over the head, painting the face with butterflies, make it look like yourself an angel. But there is nothing angel-like inside. That is very dangerous. As ugly you are inside, as ugly you appear outside, there is less problem for many people. And also for oneself, because every time you see the mirror, you get to see your truth. And you create possibility to witness that I don't like that ugliness of my mind or my thinking. I should do something about it. Do you understand? And the only difficulties become when the person starts self-portraying. Self-portraying, but the reality of the person is deep down person knows. But outside public, is it different? Then it becomes the problem. I give you example of Shiva. I think you are Shiva devotee. Shiva had in one lifetime, that as far as I know, I could be wrong because many scholars on YouTube who watch it, they might not have different viewpoints to it. As what I know, what I grew up understanding of the one story of Shiva. There was some of the kings had more than one wife. But forget that, not is like modern religion that we all know of. And Shiva, Mahadev, was married to a Sati. And she was not, her husband was looking a bit wild person with long hair, beard. And the most Shiva pictures you see is completely beardless and mustache free, but have long hairs. I don't know how it was, but the story goes on that he was not invited because whenever he comes on a bull. And he was married to a king's daughter, Sati. But she could not resist herself, saying, I would like to go join the ceremony at my father's house. She saw everybody going across Himalayas to go to the wedding or there might have been some ceremony. But the Mahadev was in a meditation, deep meditation. She argued and she said, I'm going to go. He said, it's up to you, David. I can't control you. Despite being in such a divine role, still there was no control to any feminine energy of creation from Mahadev's side. She arrives, and there was something, people start talking bad about her husband. Sati was wife of Shiva. And she did not like to hear the bad about her husband, how people were talking about him at her father's house, all the guests and relatives. Then she, being a wife of Shiva, having many powers, she took a root and she could not bear, she took a khadag and started fighting. And they say in the battle, some pieces of her body came along. That's where the Ashtasakhis, or the Das Mahavidyas was born. They say from Sati, before Sati, there was no Durga, Lakshmi, any of those. Some of the literature says. Then when the Mahadev find out what had happened to his wife, I know Mahadev is a divine of all demigods. He start doing Tandava, and he comes with all his military of the ghost and half-legged, or you can name it, Pisach, Rakshas, everybody worships Mahadev. The destructive energy can transform and can destroy and can be very peaceful at the same time. And the idea of the destruction brings the peace come from creation of Mahadev. Mahadev arrive and start destroying things, and everybody have got so scared that what do we do? And when he is angry, means nobody can survive from him. Then Vishnu start praying, everybody start praying. The story goes on. Finally, he was not very happy. He collected his pieces of wife, and as he was taking them to the Himalayas, and some of them were dropped across the earth. He was going across the earth taking, and those places become a divine energy center and manifested in a form of different divine energies from Sati. Then Mahadev got really disappointed and left everybody and everything up in the Himalayas, went into a samadhi. And meantime, when Tama is gone, Tama is not being managed. You need certain level of balance in system within your body. Now everything becoming out of balance because Mahadev is gone in samadhi. Everybody's begging, saying, we can't see you suffering, Mahadev. You are in deep sorrow. But meantime, the Sati have reincarnated as in form of a Parvati, daughter of Himalayas. She's young, and Mahadev is forever young. He never get old because divine energy. And then they find out and then give blessings. She's praying every day. She remembers always. Then Mahadev get a second marriage. If our divine Lord can get second married, in my view, and with not affected by anything what is happening, is companionship of life. But he dealt with his sorrow, he dealt with his love and the feeling of loss, but not affected by any of those. If divine Mahadev can accept a second marriage, I'm sure human beings will be forgiven. So I don't personally believe or think having a one marriage, one relationship, two marriage, three relationships, four relationships, it is any concern with divine growth or cosmic law of nature. It does not make you any less holy or less closer to God.
Should you be married though, or can you just have a relationship without marriage? Should be
Let me tell you, the biggest relationship, the greatest love affair ever happened is Radha Krishna. And Meera and Krishna. Many relationships are there, but they are greatest. Not if you are having relationship just to satisfy the senses with no compassion and care or love. That can be a little hindrance. But marriage is a constitution. Remember, marriage is not relevant. Before nowadays, marriages are legalized. Before marriage was word of mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Now you get a contract. And even I know some people get a contract. You must iron the clothes. I will not iron the clothes. I will marry you if we agree to this. Sure. Saturday, Sunday, you have to cook the meal. I will not cook the meal. Agree. Breakfast, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday you make, Thursday we get somebody else to make. Friday, Saturday, Sunday we have breakfast outside. You can't go to holiday without me. Do you see the marriage list contract is so big? Sometimes it feels like you're signing a contract to some massive dictator.
Both ways, huh?
Both ways, I'm not saying to the one person to other. So that kind of marriage, in my opinion, is not marriage. It's a agreement of convenience, agreement of liking each other and sharing the time and the insecurity that I feel lonely, you feel lonely, we can come together and fill that gap for each other. You are hungry, I am hungry, let's eat each other's ego. That is the problem. Relationship that you are asking is not relationship. But if it's relationship based, if the marriage have no relationship, in my view, is not a marriage.
What if someone was actually just having a relationship to run away from something inside of them, like loads of them? So they're constantly sleeping with people because they just want to run away. What is happening there? Is that also is this person also still being contaminated?
No.
Or are they just not feeling anything?
What happens, that person is chasing something greater. The person's interest is a lot more greater than sexual pleasure. Okay, a person is having just sexual intimacy with nothing flowering inside, nothing happening. They are after something greater, in my view. Because there is a moment you reach to the peak of nothingness or to a egoless state for maybe a moment, but you like that feeling. You're not running away from physical circumstances or social circumstances. It means person need to do more meditation, not the sexual relationship, in my view. Relationship is become a distraction, but person want to connect with his inner self. The moment the intimacy, the feeling of egolessness and connection, the warmth that person feels during that moment, and that person is chasing the same warmth, but looking for a wrong place. Person need to connect with inner nature, inner dharma. The meditation will help to clear that limited short-term pleasure to turn into a long-term pleasure and permanent pleasure. You do not need somebody else to feel objected or objectified. If you're in any relationship, doesn't matter the moment you're sleeping or sleeping around and having just only sexual relationship or intimacy. If your nature is to treat that person that time as an object, nothing more than just an object, there was never a relationship anyway. It was just a momentary that you use that an object to reach to a little bit of peace, a little bit of peace of the inner awareness. Like many people use many techniques of meditation to find a momentary peace.
It's not them glorifying themselves, it's another conquest, or they don't.
Some of my dear students, I know somebody who does that, but I can't disclose the name. The problem in that situation is lack of self-worth.
Exactly, that's what I mean.
If lack of self-worth, again, you are looking for your higher self, where you feel content, where you don't feel insecure. You do not know yourself, you will feel insecure no matter what you have. Okay? If you feeling very little inside, and desired and wanted by many. You have a little God complex. You want to close it to God because everybody desires God. Everybody desires peace. Everybody desires little happiness. The person is very miserable in that situation. Person is not very happy.
Obviously.
And if that is coming from the place of unhappiness, lack of insecurity, or abusing, in my opinion, he has his freedom to do what he wants to do. Unless his question relates to you, I will answer it. If this person asks me the question, I will answer him directly or her directly. So in relation, what this person,
it's people I know.
I
know lots of people.
I understand, what you're asking. There are lots of people, but if person is doing it again, person is in quest of the person deep down, unconsciously, is again chasing the little bit of power, little bit of peace. Power is a self-awareness, a self-worth, not knowing that your greatest power is inside you. Greatest wealth is inside you. Happiness is inside you. When you're getting in the relationship, you're momentary sharing it. You are not taking it from somebody. Nobody can give you peace. Nobody can give you love. Nobody can give you pleasure. Remember that. The person is looking for the pleasure, is trying to see that this person will give me a bit more happiness. This person will give me a bit more pleasure. That knowledge will give me a bit more power. That knowledge will give me a bit more pleasure. Not. Till the inner awareness awakens, the inner quest completed. But I can also say, I understand myself. I got my inner quest completed. Nobody knows what inner quest is. It's constantly transforming, constantly growing. You can never be a master of divine. You only can align with the divine energy.
So, on an energetic level, then, when two people have sex, they're coming together. Surely that's like become one. Is there on an energetic level an exchange of that energy?
But if it depends intention while you were making intimacy, it was about dominating each other, bullying each other, or try to make each other feel like I'm stronger, I conquer, or it was a smooth, tender, and awakened relationship, not filled with greed.
It's not my question.
I understand what you're saying. Not filled with greed. If the intimacy that time, meeting together, you can never become one. You're sleeping with somebody, you can never become I got holy union. No, that is sexual intimacy, sense union. There is nothing happening inside the heart at all. Nothing happening in your consciousness. So nothing happening in your awareness.
Something that's happened, then you feel it on a conscious heart level, you feel some like it's magic or whatever it is. What is that? What's
the pleasure, the magic of the sense pleasure?
Not
or magic.
You haven't come yet.
Okay.
Wow, I just said that out loud. Okay, so sorry.
It's getting it out of hand.
Yes, slightly.
So if a relationship happen in that sense, and still that relationship is my view, if you're not objectifying each other, if that moment of magic, if it happened inside you, and is no relevant to a second party, that person may have become mirror for you in that moment, but this person is not creator of it. That magic was awakened inside you. You became into egoless state. You become very submissive. You become very open. You become very tender. You were able to touch the softness inside. You were able to touch the compassion inside you. You were able to open up. You were no pretense. You became naked. Not physically naked, which is different story, but you become mentally naked. You become totally mentally naked in front of your awareness. In that moment, your self was able to witness everything that you have. At that very moment, your ego was dropped. And that can make you feel like magic, but this got nothing to do with the person.
What if both of you felt like that at the same time?
A similar thing might have also happened to him. You maybe have become mirror for him. If you do the same thing with again, same thing happened, then maybe that person is irrelevant.
Yeah, that's exactly what's been happening.
But what happened, you might be also decorating it because you're chasing the same desire again. I like that feeling. Your mind remembers it. You act, try to act, play pretty much the same and expecting the same outcome.
Again, it's not the actual act of itself. It's the coming together, not
Then means
the final.
if that is the case, there should have not been any jealousy afterward. There should not have been any anger afterward. There should not have been any frustration afterward. There should not have been after any disappointment and control. If that magic have taken place, you become totally free for the rest of your life. So is the person. But then you get control, then you get ideas of jealousy, then you get ideas of frustration and disappointment, lack of acceptance of person's behavior. Or that was magic was happening. Where this bloody union gone? So that union was again desire deep rooted. You would like it so badly to happen because you are hungry. So the person is hungry. They're both creating their own fantasy little world and safe haven. And the one come out of the safe haven, you want to kill each other.
No, not for me.
Not you, I'm talking majority of people now.
Okay.
I have somebody asking me a question, let me see. Who is it? I hope the question is not going too far. Hello, Yogi. Why I am frequently deceived in modeling? Why are you selling yourself as a, don't say it. Modeling over what? The industry is quite fickle. However, I am determined and genuine. On the good note, Yogi, I have more stamina in my yoga practice due to lower body fat. And the lower body fat. Lower body fat. Have you gained lower body? Lots of people like to gain lower body fat so they feel very grounded. And some of the modeling may require that too, especially in American people. No, sorry, they have oversized clothes. And anyway, William, I'm very happy to hear, my friend. Second question, continue. Don't worry about modeling, focus on the karma. Second question, why do the British women like me? No, why do not British women like me? Or so choosing, what are you talking about? Signals. I have outspoken tongue picked up subconsciously. I speak my mind too much and it has got me a bit of trouble. My friend, if you are talking horribly and talking your mind as ugly it is to the beautiful woman, she's not gonna like it. So learn to speak the language of tenderness and accept the person, whoever is saying whatever the person is saying. When you are talking, it's not about you, whatever you got inside your belly and your mind, you want to throw it on the person. Here you go. I put it on top of you. It's not that case. You have to allow other person to connect with you. You can't force your views on people. You just only accept them. Okay? On that note, I think we have reached our limit of time, unless Gina, would you have one more
last,
question?
yes, just one last observation about what you said, okay? What if?
Mind have made a good journey circle around it.
No, I'm
and
just trying to
judging,
understand.
assessing, and then try to come up with a self-judgment conclusion. I am not that ugly. I'm not that cheap. I have a bit more standard, Yogi.
Oh, I already know all of those. I don't need you to confirm it. Thank you.
I would like to make sure that I have not done anything wrong. Go ahead, ask.
No, no. I'm pretty sure I've done something strong. Loads of things. Okay. What if during that state, when you're in that state, but then when you come out of that state, like when you separate, when you get that magic and then you separate, then the ego comes in and starts to build up fear that you're going to lose that person and you're going to lose that feeling. Does that not come into play?
My dear, if any emotion, you are not steady in that emotion, then you are not accepting it. Everything, nothing is ever remaining. The law of nature. You were asking me previously, law of cosmic. If you understand law of cosmic, I give you from a childbirth. You were very tiny. You grew up, that no longer exists. You were very innocent, according to you, that no longer exists. You got a bit more updated version of you, no longer exists. What you thought a moment ago, the thought no longer exists. So everything happens, die. Everything happens, die. Even look at the seasons within 1 year. They don't stay the same, no matter where you go. Okay. So what you're asking, the insecurity of letting go, the losing it, is fear, means the relationship or the magic is not that solid. The insecurity around that is coming from a place of greed. And in any relationship, if there is a greed, that was insecure itself, coming from a place of control, not from inside you. That magic was physical, not energetic or subtle.
I experienced energetic and subtle.
But energetic and subtle is also physical, my dear. It appears on physical body.
It was not a physical thing.
In that case, you should worship that person.
Yes, I do worship that person. No, not anymore.
Then obviously that magic was not permanent
No.
either. So if that magic was permanent, you should feel it even now, thinking about it. I feel that right now, every moment when I think about my divine being, my whole body gets goosebumps, almost like I'm having ecstasy relationship. So that is a relationship. I close my eyes when I'm meditating, I feel like I'm going to take off. My body, whole body is vibrating. So that is magic. Connection to yourself is the real magic. Outside, they are all fickle, come in like William saying that his relationship with the modeling is not going well. But he have a great time when he gets job done. But the most women loves him for momentary, then they realize how much garbage he holds in his mind, or in his words, or his transparent speaking truth. I don't know what William holds, but they leave him. They don't like him, especially British women. William, my friend, you should go for Irish one. They are a lot more sweeter and fiery. If not, go for Latino. If you don't like it, go for European. If nothing works anyway, just go to Asia. On that note, I think